Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving from the United States.
Is the hat a Thanksgiving thing? Is it a Thanksgiving hat?
It is a special hat. It actually is a Thanksgiving hat. Let me turn it around. I wanted to do it this way because Claire said I look 10 years younger when this direction. So this is a, a can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, I don't even need cans. Somehow I can hear you from this way. Anyway, so long as you can hear me. So we have grown our team so much. Over 50 people are on our team in terms of storytellers and producers and veterinarians and writers and all the people on the back end. So it has grown a lot in 2023, and I'm really grateful for our team. And so I was thinking, what could we? Because I refer to everyone who works with us in these various efforts to help improve the quality of life for dogs and the people who love them. I've often referred to people as, we're all team dog, and thought we need a uniform. So I had these hats made, and everyone on our team is going to get one. What do you think?
And is it like a progressive thing? So every Thanksgiving we get an extra part of the uniform. Is it going to be like,
That's right.
hoodies
In 10 years, you'll have the full, as you say in Britain, kit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I don't know. I think we'll
Socks.
socks,
Yeah.
wristbands.
Yeah. One of those what do they call those, like, snood things, that you wear around your neck?
A collar, a leash.
No.
A kerchief?
They're like infinity scarves. They're like circular things. Yeah.
Again, I'm not chic. I get these. These are called dad hats. So
Okay.
But they're chic and they're adjustable because I have a really fat head and they work on mine. So they'll work on anyone's head, and they go all the way down to small. Anyway, so yes, this is one little thing about our Thanksgiving tradition. We get clothes away. I hear Maple in the background.
I was going to say this is I guess it's kind of appropriate. We're doing a live here, but my dog needs to be let out of the room. So just bear with me one moment.
We understand. I've interviewed people, very famous celebrities who had to stop or get up in the middle of their interview to say, I got to go out and walk the dog. Is that okay? And I was like, yeah, of course. Yes. This is Dog Podcast Network. So dog walking, barking, feeding, cleaning up messes. It's all part of the territory.
I did an interview this week, actually, Jim, for an upcoming episode of Dog Edition, and we had a dog on that who had amazing comic timing, so much so that I think if I played the audio back as it was, people wouldn't believe that we hadn't actually inserted the dog bark. They wouldn't believe it wasn't, somehow manipulated. Yeah. But it was brilliant. Yeah, it was an episode we're doing in the future about becoming a breeder, and this lady I was interviewing was talking about, don't, because it would just take over your life and everything else, and the dog just goes woof, it was just
punctuating it, make sure that you really understand, drive the point home. That's awesome. Yeah. We are always working on new stories, but we have a whole bunch of new shows that have come out this week, our Thanksgiving menu. So that's what we do every week on Thursday at this time, where we tell you what is new on Dog Podcast Network. So, Claire, you want to tell folks what we're doing for Dog Edition, which is very holiday related?
Yeah. So, Dog Edition this week is the best dog gifts for 2022. And because we're kind of budget aware this year, everything that we are recommending is, one, easy to get hold of because you can get it on the internet, regardless of whether you're UK, US, or elsewhere in the world. And also they're all very affordable. And so they're fun, kind of affordable dog gifts. And I have to say there's one, and I won't give away any details. You have to listen to this, the episode to find out what I'm talking about. But there's one that you had on your side of because we had them in our different studios. And I keep thinking about it because I keep needing it because it solves a certain problem. And when I'm out on a run, because I was trying to do it today, this thing that this problem solves, and I thought I need that thing in my life. So yeah, dog related problem.
And it is dog related, and some of these gifts are as low as $10. The most expensive is $140. But they're really reasonable. They're fun, and we are venturing more and more into the world of video. So this is a show that is fully in live video on YouTube. Not live, we edited it, but that is there, and because you can see the demonstrations of these products. So it's kind of fun. I will encourage you to check out the YouTube channel at Dog Podcast Network's YouTube channel, where you can see that show where Claire and I show and demonstrate all these great gifts for 2022.
And the long leash this week, you're going to have to help me out with the pronunciation of your guest, because I meant to check it earlier and I didn't, and I don't want to mess it up. So
Gargiulo.
Gargiulo. Oh yes, I mean, it's
but what's
fantastic.
more important is she's a sommelier. That part I can do. Her name a little more difficult.
I could do that part as well. So your episode is a sommelier's guide to pairing dogs with wine with Michelle
Gargiulo.
Yes, exactly. And she has written a book about, the book is called Pairing Paws, Dog Breeds and Their Spirit Wines. And we talked about this a couple of months ago, and you were saying, oh, it's a really good book. It's a really good book. And I was thinking, yeah, that's kind of like one of those novelty gift books. But it's so not. I didn't realize at the time that she really knows her wine, and really loves dogs. And there was something you said in the episode that I thought rung very true, which was, you said a lot of people have given you wine guides over the years, and they're a bit dry and stuffy, and you tend not to read them.
Right.
But because this one is about dogs and wine, it makes wine really accessible. and I think that's very true.
It's a fascinating book. Probably also another great gift for 2022. It's a beautiful book, and the interview is, I mean, when you get deep into it, we have this lovely conversation, and then she says something, and I do a follow up, and let's just say it becomes very sober for a minute, very heartfelt, very emotional. But then we get back to talking about dogs and wine. But it's a fun conversation, a great book, and I encourage you to check out that episode. You can find it at longleashshow.com and learn about how to pair wine with dogs. This would be appropriate for Thanksgiving if you still haven't selected your wine.
But I love the accessibility of it, and it's a beautiful book as well. So that's important. Dog Cancer Answers this week: the best treatment for oral melanoma in dogs, which is the extremely aggressive dog mouth cancer. And this is Molly talking with oncologist Dr. Brooke Britton. And this was a question which was called in by one of the listeners who had personal experience of it and wanted to find out more about it. And there are lots of interesting routes of treatments. And I was thinking while I was listening to it, how it must be devastating to get that diagnosis, and you come home and probably everybody types it into Google. That's the first thing anyone does with any diagnosis. But to hit on a whole episode of a podcast about it, you would just be so relieved, because it's like having a one-to-one consultation. You have a whole hour just talking about that thing. So that must be a great relief for a lot of people.
Well, that is what Dog Cancer Answers is all about. Dr. Brooke Britton is a veterinary oncologist, one of only really a few hundred in the world. And she answers a lot of questions from our listeners. And if you have a dog with cancer, or you know a dog with cancer, someone who's dealing with cancer, you should encourage them to check out Dog Cancer Answers, because there is a telephone number where people can call in and leave a message, just like that caller did. And then literally, it's not instantaneous. We don't do instantaneous podcasts, but we check, we do the research, we get the experts, and we answer those questions. And it's a really powerful service, I suppose, that we do at Dog Cancer Answers. There are a ton of episodes, and those are also available either as MP3s to listen to in your favorite podcast app, or on our YouTube channel.
I think that's the other wonderful thing about podcasts is, you and I grew up in the days of radio, and people would say to you, oh, there was a thing on the radio this afternoon. It would have been really relevant for you to have heard. And then it's gone into the ether, and there was no way of catching it again, and nobody would have absorbed the information. But that stuff is evergreen. It's there forever for anybody who needs that information, and it's accessible. So that's the brilliantness of podcasts.
And one of the things that we do in our YouTube channel that actually, if you're watching this and I'd love you to comment on and let us know if you like it or don't like it, is we have what we call bouncing balls. So on shows that don't have a lot of live video of Claire and I or whoever talking directly to camera, because I know we're very attractive, but sometimes
Well,
we do,
so much with that hat,
we are,
obviously.
well, yes, we're 10 years younger. We are an audio first podcast, so a network. So we do these bouncing balls where we have someone on our team literally verbatim transcribe every single word. So, for example, in the sommelier podcast, if you watch it on YouTube, all the wines are carefully spelled out. So if you want to know exactly the name of this very unusual wine that, for example, pairs with a Maltese from this island in Portugal, we have someone on our team who listens to every episode and painfully checks out the spelling to make it easy for you to find the resource. So sometimes we mumble.
Yeah.
And we make it very easy so that, it is easy to find out whether you're looking for a wine or you're trying to understand something that an oncologist is talking about when it relates to dog cancer. We do that. It's all part of the service because we love dogs and we know that this is helpful for us and hopefully helpful for you.
Absolutely.
Someone commented on LinkedIn right now. They said, "Nice. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that." We do that. It's just one of the many things. So please, what you can do for us on this Thanksgiving is just tell people when you're at the Thanksgiving table or just tell people the dog park about Dog Podcast Network. It's the fastest way to help us grow so that we can serve a growing audience. And that really is what I'm asking for Thanksgiving from you.
And before we sign off, Jim, what are your plans for the rest of the day? Do you have like the meal in the middle of the day, or do you have it at the end of the day, or
both?
Both.
Well, yeah, we have leftovers. I love to cook. Cooking is one of my favorite things. So we are cooking it right now, but it will be an early. Yeah, I'm kind of like a noon, 1 o'clock. It's only 9:30 in the morning here. But we are well on our way. I can smell wonderful things coming out of the kitchen. And as soon as I get off this live, I'm going to go back up and start chopping a lot of stuff for my famous stuffing.
Oh,
or dressing. Do you call it stuffing or dressing?
Stuffing.
Okay, good.
Stuff that goes inside, not dressing.
Dressing
is the thing you put on salad.
Well, there you go. I'm with you. I like that. Well, you talk funny over it. No, some people call it dressing and they don't understand what stuffing is. And anyway, but
okay.
We'll turn into a culinary podcast. We could. We will be doing something like that in the new year about dogs and food, but that's a whole nother day.
Sounds intriguing. Well, I shall let you carry on with your food preparations, and we shall meet again this time next week, same place.
We will do it. So everyone check out the links. You can find all of them on our main website at dogpodcastnetwork.com or shows.dogpodcastnetwork.com. And you can see all the shows that we have at DPN. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.